Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to answer some of the questions that I have received over the past few months from my Instagram and YouTube posts. I'm also very excited to announce that I'm starting my nurse consulting business, and if you're interested in consulting with me via Zoom, visit my website www.simplefitnurse.com and click on the consulting tab. You can sign up and we can have a discussion to see if I will be of benefit to you, and then we can set up a formal consulting time. This is not for nursing medical advice, it is more about providing career or mentorship advice revolving around nursing, of course. Alright, with that being said, let's get right into the video. The first question I usually get is, how do I move to Canada as a registered nurse? This is a very common question that I constantly get, and I get it. Many people from around the world want to move and seek guidance on how to move and work as a registered nurse. However, I am not an immigration expert and I'm not really familiar with the process myself. So for me to give advice on this would not be very beneficial. However, I did do some research and I did create a specific video which will be linked in the description box where I talk about the various steps required. Basically, you need to be proficient in English, accredit your education with a national organization, and then follow the requirements based on the exact province that you want to work in. I go into all of that more specifically in a video which like I said, you can find down in the description box below. The other question I commonly get is, how did you know emergency nursing was your specialty of choice? And to be quite honest, I didn't really know until I started to realize how stagnant each floor gets after working on it after a few months. I started off working on a medical unit and I quickly realized how the demographic of patients that I was getting was typically the same. Once you see the pattern, you're able to identify what to do and what they need. After a few months, I got bored and went on to a telemetry unit. From there, I went on to a palliative and a neuro unit. Then one day, I was coding a patient and the emergency room educator respecting the code and suggested that I would be a great fit as I would see a bit of everything down in the emergency room. A few weeks later, I applied and received the training position for the ER. From there, I did the additional training and have been in the ER ever since. It is definitely very interesting and you get exposed to all sorts of things, so it keeps you interested and intrigued, but I definitely would say it's not for everyone. So what happened to your nurse practitioner application? Yeah, so I know I spoke about how I was applying to NP school, and I actually did. However, as time went on, I realized how silly that decision was because of the emergency room training position I received. Basically, even if I did get accepted, I wouldn't have been able to attend because I was committed to working in my emergency room for a year due to the training contract I signed. Anyways, long story short, I didn't get accepted anyways, and I didn't even get an interview. To be honest, it was disappointing at the time, but what was even more disappointing was the fact that the school that I applied to did not even provide feedback on what I was lacking on my application. Overall though, I did not care too much about it, and I will just apply again in a few years now, just because I want to get more proficient at being an emergency room nurse, and I'm kind of enjoying working there right now, to be honest. So now here are some questions that I received from my Instagram and YouTube posts that I specifically made in my community tab. So a question I commonly get is, how do you pick up so much overtime, or how do you have so much time to do YouTube, go to the gym, and work full time? Well, I guess the best way to answer that question is, well, I try and take care of my body and mental health. I have a great supportive wife that is extremely helpful, but aside from that, I make sure that I buy proper footwear for my shifts and exercise regularly as well. I have a video talking about the various products that I use to help with my recovery after my shifts, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. It will be in the description box down below. I also think it is important to prioritize your time. You can do a lot in your free time if you just create a schedule and prioritize getting it done. But it is so easy to make excuses nowadays and say, oh, you're too tired, or you shouldn't do it because of this. Like, for example, there are many times that my body is aching after a 12-hour shift, and it may seem that I need rest. But when I actually put myself into the gym, my body actually feels fine and I can do the workout just fine. A lot of times, our brain is trained to be lazy, and I feel like if you prioritize your time, you can actually get a lot done. Well, that's the end of this video. I hope it was useful. I hope you learned something, and thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Hey guys, just thought I would show you how to get to my website. All you got to do is go to Google and search Simple Fit Nurse, or you can go to your web browser and search www.simplefitnurse.com. In my website, I have free ebooks that I've created. I have a free fitness guide, I have a free NCLEX guide, and I have a free nutrition guide that I've created, and it's all free. You can click on the appropriate tabs at the top of my website and you get access to them. I do post blog posts every single week with my videos, and they're helpful if you want to take a look at graphs and diagrams that come along with that. I also have a NCLEX review session where I post all my NCLEX content, so be sure to check those out. Also, if you're interested, check out these videos and be sure to subscribe for more content every single week. Thank you for watching, and thank you for making it till the very, very end. I appreciate it. See you next time.